Since we are now, at least I think, past peak woke, and this may be debatable given Joe Biden just last week said he should not have called a murderer illegal, but I think we are at least a little bit past the peak woke. Is it now time to relitigate some of these ridiculous cancel campaigns that happened in the last 5 to 10 years? One in particular, being a Canadian, that comes to mind is the canceling and firing of Canadian icon Don Cherry. Don Cherry was in the news a bit recently when his former partner Ron MacLean posted a photo with Don on social media. Some have said, though, that despite this photo, Ron MacLean and Don Cherry are actually still not on good terms. I'm not exactly sure of the real story, but I do know Ron MacLean did not necessarily have the back of Don Cherry when he was being cancelled. Here's the clip that the woke vultures jumped all over, which led to Don Cherry's cancellation.
Cherry's message about Canadian immigrants over the weekend has him out of a job today.
You people love you that come here, whatever it is. You love our way of life. You love our milk and honey. At least you could pay a couple of bucks for poppies or something like that. These guys pay.
Sportsnet called those comments directed at immigrants divisive and not in line with the values of the company. Sportsnet then apologized over the weekend. Host Ron MacLean apologized as well, but the 82-year-old Cherry met with his bosses, and the company said it is the right time for him to step down.
Now, to be clear, this probably isn't the best way to say this, as it's not really fair to new Canadian immigrants who come to Canada and do like and respect the country. But was this statement worth losing his job and having a week-long campaign or weeks-long campaign of people dunking on him for clicks and likes on social media, all while trying to tarnish his legacy? In my opinion, absolutely not. Don Cherry's point here, at least from what I can tell, is that he believes new Canadians, like all Canadians, should learn about and respect Canada's history, and wearing the poppy to honor Remembrance Day is a way to do that. Is this really such an extreme view? Even if he did not word it exactly how the politically correct mob wants? You could argue it's actually a message of unity, as he's saying that we should all unite behind being Canadians who are proud of our history and those who sacrificed their lives for our country to thrive. The line people were most outraged about, I think, was that line about you people. But come on. Take off the woke blinders and try to look at this in good faith. This is a guy born in 1936. He probably does not, and really probably has no interest in keeping up with the latest and most politically correct way to refer to something. And the other thing, his show is live. It is way hard to consistently hit the right politically correct note if you're live, as Bill O'Reilly would say, you're doing it live.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Now, having said that, I do think Don Cherry could have worded this better. Probably should have, as he is a professional. But the amount of shit he took for this is ridiculous. In my opinion, the following Coach's Corner, he could have expressed that he did not mean to specifically offend anybody or clarify what exactly he meant by this. But no, during peak woke, this would not have been good enough to satisfy the mob. The only satisfaction was to get this guy fired and tarnish his reputation as much as possible. That is social justice, after all, right? And you have to wonder, what is actually worse and more harmful to society? Somebody like Don Cherry making an insensitive remark on television, or the coordinated and aggressive cancel campaign that occurred afterwards? This very deliberate, by the way, cancel campaign, with the obvious goal of getting him fired and removed from society as much as possible. Because I think clearly the more unethical and wrong thing is the coordinated and deliberate cancel campaign. People cannot make honest mistakes and just learn from them. Why were we all such cowards in 2019? Just standing by and letting the woke mob take whatever they could get their hands on, like in this case, getting Don Cherry fired. Ron MacLean, Don Cherry's longtime partner on Coach's Corner, did not really come to the defense of Don Cherry.
Mine, and then the next choice, which was a really hard choice, probably the sleepless nights all week are mostly about this. Don's my guy. I'm in a foxhole with Don, and I've decided to go one way and he another.
Should Don Cherry really have been fired for this? Why did almost everybody in a position of power surrounding Don's firing analyze his words in the worst faith possible? Or even potentially worse, remain silent as he was being fired and drugged through the media ringer? Racist, xenophobe, etc., etc. So with that said, does the CBC and Canada owe Don Cherry an apology? Anyway, thank you for watching this video. What are your thoughts on Don Cherry's firing now that it's been about 5 years since this happened? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and have a good day.